Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I just wanted to maybe show you guys how I'm going to bring in my geranium. It's a wonderful scented geranium. It's a lemon smell. There's so many different smells for these scented geraniums. It's a type of pelargonium. Usually the leaves are more ruffled, kind of plain looking, but they smell beautiful. This mint, sorry, mint. Where am I getting mint? This lemon one is one of my favorites. So I tend to have a hard time finding it every year. Usually you find the citronellas. That is a citrusy sort of smell, but I find that smells a little bit too harsh. This one is this one is nice. This is really nice. I could smell this for hours. Oh my god. It's amazing. It's amazing. So anyway, because it's so hard to find for me in my area, the odd garden center does have it, but usually by that time my baskets are always full and I don't have any space, blah blah blah. So anyway, I take my own cuttings from this, so I'll let the main plant die. I have in the past tried to save the main plant, but they really get leggy and they get big. They get really big, and then I don't really have the space to deal with that. So small cuttings, they will grow over the winter and turn into what you see here. I've got bits and pieces all throughout a lot of my planters. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to take a clean knife. I'm going to give myself, I don't know what is that, maybe an 8-inch cutting. I want to have something to work with. So I'm going to make a few cuttings. So let me just prune this plant back. It's the last day of September now, so I might be uploading this video a little bit late, but just so you know the time frame that I'm in. It's still nice right now, but it's starting to get cooler at night. I think right now it's between 8 degrees and 10 degrees Celsius, which a lot of my plants are really slowing down. Some things are starting to put on some fall color. They're really yellowing out. But this is a perfect time to do this. I'm going to actually bring these inside and I'm going to grow them under my grow lights. You can grow them on a windowsill if you've got a nice bright windowsill. They'll grow on a lower light windowsill, but they tend to really stretch and they don't look very nice. But as long as they survive the winter, as soon as you can start putting them out in the spring when the weather gets a little nice, you might have to bring them in at night, but through the day, why not? Why not put them outside? They'll definitely acclimatize a lot faster that way. Let's see here. This year I think I'm also not going to be bringing in as many items as I normally would. I usually bring in every single bulb that can be saved, and I like to see things survive, but don't have enough space. I can't really deal. Like these beautiful oxalis, I normally would bring every single one of them in, and then store the bulb, and then in the spring try to find a home for them. But this year I had a hard time finding them. I ended up growing them under my grow lights, and I had them at the last day, and I'm like, oh, either I'm going to throw these out, or I just don't want to be faced with that situation. So I might bring in one, but I have them all over the place. I used to do canna lilies and calla lilies and all sorts of other fantastic things. I want to try to put that to a minimum until I get a larger space. So anyway, we got these beautiful, I ramble on. I've got these beautiful cuttings. They're very healthy. What you want is you want your cutting to be at least 2 inches, tall, a few leaves. So what I'm going to do, and you can have several cuttings on this. Just going to cut it here. As you can see, there's the main stem right along here. Take that off. So I'm going to cut it off so it could be a little 4-inch cutting. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to take off some of the side leaves. I'm going to also take off this little side branch. And maybe this one as well. And I've already got some soil mix. This is mostly peat. It's going to be moisture retentive. Geraniums by nature prefer it to be a little bit on the drier side. They hold a lot of moisture in their stems. But this will be fine for over winter and also for a cutting. You want to have something that retains moisture for a cutting. So we're just going to plunge that in down to the first leaf that still remains. I don't know whether you can see it in there, but it's right up to that leaf. And just pack it around there. This is another part of that cutting. If you wanted to, see how we took the leaf off there and we took a little side branch off there, and this is where we actually took the cutting from the last one. This here will grow. So it will root from here and grow up here. So that is a fantastic cutting as well. Might as well just stick it in there. What do we have to lose? Here we go again. We got our nice long cutting. I'm going to chop it off at around this point here, just under a leaf node. Notice how I left that joint right there. I'm going to take this off. This way it's going to root right at the bottom. That'll be fantastic. I'm going to take this off and leave those leaves on there. So we're going to get roots from here, here, and maybe from where that leaf is still joined there. We're going to pop it in there. I'm going to do the same thing over and over and over again. Take this cutting right below a leaf node, pull that off, pull the little baby sprout off. It smells so good in here. I wish I could have smell-o-vision here on YouTube. And we're just gonna jam it there in the pot. I've got 4 cuttings in this little 4-inch pot. Maybe it's a 3.5-inch pot, I don't know. So we're just gonna put it right in there like that. Got all kinds. I've got a second pot here. I'll just fill it in. I also like to use these plants as maybe a little bit of an air freshener. From time to time I will walk around the house and just shake it through the house. When the plant gets a little big, it really makes the room smell nice. So it's one benefit to having them grow over winter in the house. Even in summertime, if you're having people over and you're like, oh, that fish I just cooked is pretty bad, just go and shake it everywhere. It'll smell nice. One thing to take into consideration is that some geraniums don't root very well. You might get a single root. The plant might kind of look alive, but it never really grows. So when you see that happen in your cuttings, just take those ones out. They really won't amount to anything, and there's no sense in thinking that they will. I've made that mistake several times. But it's still alive. It's still green. Yeah, it's not gonna do very much. And you'll find that with probably, I don't know, there will probably be 1 or 2 or even 3 or 4 in this group that don't really grow very well for me. You'll notice by springtime which ones are good and which ones aren't. Just don't waste your time with the ones that aren't good. By all means, if you want to do it, sure, but just from experience, they don't really go anywhere. Okay, so here we are. We've got some lovely cuttings. Ah, and they smell so good. Again, if you always buy the citronella ones to keep the mosquitoes away, still buy the citronella one, but if you got an extra space in the pot, I do recommend these lemon ones. So good. Okay, so I've got a Ziploc bag. This is going to act as my little greenhouse for the the first month or two until I see that they are not wilting or anything. And maybe I'll see some roots grow out the bottom. So I've got them sitting there in my thing, in my greenhouse. I've got Mr. Pig, the pink elephant. Just gonna water these very, very well. Mr. Pig's trunk is not doing too well. I was carrying him by his trunk. Perhaps I shouldn't have been carrying him by his trunk. And the top part came off. So if you see a little watering mishap, that's why. So I got lots of water in here. There's lots in the bottom, as you can see. This was dry soil, so it will soak all of that up in a few hours or so. So I'm just going to close this up, airtight, just like that. They're going to go under my grow lights now, and like I said, in about a month, maybe a month and a half, they should be starting to root, and I'll slowly open the bag, acclimatize them to the lower humidity environment, and then once that's all done, I will take them out and just water them as normal, like a regular geranium. They might stretch. Don't be discouraged by that. When they come out in the spring, you can cut them back and they'll start growing more compact and more beautiful. So anyway, give this a try. If you have, this works for all of your zonal geraniums, any of your geraniums, pelargoniums. If you have a variety that you absolutely love and you don't think you'll be able to find it next year, because some of them are really hard to find, don't be afraid to take some cuttings, bring them inside. It helps if they're small in the beginning because they do stretch over winter. Nothing you can do about that. Unless, of course, you have natural sunlight down there or in your house like crazy. Maybe a sunroom or something like that. But for the normal people, they stretch like crazy. And don't worry, as long as you can keep them alive, they will do wonderfully next year. Anyway, happy growing, everyone. And don't forget to visit my Facebook page, Plants and Things, and join me on there and post some photos if you like. I'd love to see what you're growing. And we'll have conversations on there. Have a good one, everyone.